Well, good afternoon. Welcome to Thinking Tuesday. It's a pleasure to be here with you again today at noon on Tuesday. So happy Tuesday to you. I trust that you are all doing well. I am myself, and it's always exciting to be here with you on Thinking Tuesday. So, I want to continue our weekly talk about how we can think into having the kind of life that we want to live and how to become the person that we would like to become, because we're always becoming, and that's great news, because really there's no limit, there's no end to personal growth, correct? At least that's what I feel. The only time when it comes to an end is when we're no longer breathing. And I'm sure that everyone online is breathing at this point. So, the good news is that it's possible to change your life as you change your thinking. And the good news is, because there's no bad news here, the good news is also that it takes work. Some might see that as bad news, but as long as you can put some effort into what you would like to do or who you would like to become, that is good news. But it doesn't feel good when you're looking for something, whether it's learning how to build something, learning how to find something, or learning how to understand something, and you don't have a strategy, you don't have a way to look for that thing, to find that thing, whatever it is, even if it's how to become a better version of you. So that's what I like to talk about on Thinking Tuesday. Um, there's really nothing like becoming more aware and having a light shine in those places that are dark, that are confusing, that are nebulous, that don't give us a clear view of what we want to achieve and who we would like to become, what we'd like to attain. When we're walking on a dark path, it helps us to have a flashlight, right? Right? It helps us to have a flashlight to see the path. Or maybe when we enter into a room and it's dark, what's the first thing we do? We flip on the light switch so that we can see and not bump into to furniture that's going to harm us, okay? So I think that we all can agree that having light shed on things that we want and desire to help us to take steps to get there, to achieve what we want to achieve, that it's good to have a light shine in those areas to give us some clarity, to help us to see more clearly, to help us to determine if we're going in the right direction. So today I want to talk to you about a framework to attaining your dreams, because sometimes that's very cloud and dark, confusing for many of us, and we can't connect the dots. But I want to bring you back to our slogan for Thinking Tuesday, which is very, very key to what we talk about here on Thinking Tuesday. And our slogan, as you all know, if you've been watching, whether it's the replay or on YouTube or whatever, but for those of you who may be here for the first time, our slogan on Thinking Tuesday is "Your mind is a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds, and you can grow flowers or you can grow weeds." Because today I'm going to talk to you about a process that also begins with how we think. Everything is connected with how we think, and then we move on from there. So, for the next few weeks, I will be sharing some messages with you on how you can attain your dreams. Many of us walk around with unfulfilled dreams, and there's nothing like having a dream and not knowing how to access it, how to uh, uh, process it, how to move it, how to activate it. There's nothing more unfulfilling than having something that you know you want to produce and having difficulty finding a way to produce it. Because we're told sometimes that we can't attain dreams, that our dreams are too lofty. Those are some of the reasons why sometimes we have unfulfilled dreams, because we listen to others who have limitations on themselves and they try to put limitations on you. So there are a lot of reasons why we have unfulfilled dreams. We're also told sometimes that we're not worthy, or we feel that we're not worthy. Everyone is worthy of their dreams, because if it occurs to you, that means that there's a way that you can attain it. Unfortunately, many times we buy into these negative um, statements that we hear from others. The good news is, and there's always good news, I like to be the bearer of good news. You don't hear about any bad news on Thinking Tuesday, right? The good news is that we all have what it takes to fulfill our dreams. That is really good news, because it tells us that the center of control is within each and every one of us, and that we are built, we are equipped with many resources that we have yet to access. And once we learn how to access those resources, the sky's the limit. Now, that is great news, even better than good news, right? But it all begins with your thoughts. It all begins with your thoughts. So that's why I love doing or sharing these Thinking Tuesday messages, because they help us to think in ways that we probably would not ordinarily think, and we become aware of what we're able to achieve, who we are, how we're built, what resources we have, how richly constructed, if you want to say that, we are. But first and foremost, we must allow ourselves to dream, right? We must allow ourselves to dream, because, like I said, we're all worthy of dreaming. So if you have been one of those who feel that you can't dream, take it easy. You still have time. We'll help you walk through this, okay? Everyone, like I said, is worthy of their dreams, and your dreams are worthy of you as well. They're waiting for you to be birthed. They're waiting to be birthed by you, so to speak, right? Remember the I am statements that I talked about last week. I hope that you've been pursuing those. If you're struggling with allowing yourself to dream and feeling that you're worth fulfilling your dreams, develop a list of I am statement, or continue those I am statements to reinforce your thoughts. Reinforce your thoughts and help you develop a positive mindset that moves you in the direction of your dreams. That can be very, very helpful here. So please continue, or start if you hadn't started last week, to continue to develop those I am statements, because you control how you finish that statement. And even if they're aspirational statements, that's within your purview as well. So continue developing those I am statements. Try to do at least one a day to help reinforce how you feel about yourself, how you want to feel about yourself, what you're capable of, and certainly help you to reinforce your thoughts about your dreams and your ability to attain your dreams. So even while you're working on that, on part of feeling worthy about your dreams with those I am statements, an important question to ask yourself, though, if you're struggling with dream attainment, or whether or not you should even dream, or whether or not you should start dreaming again, because some of us have started, we get disappointed for whatever reason, or life happens, as they say, and it puts a pause. But the good news is, again, you can always start over. But a question to ask yourself, the question I have for you today as we begin this framework to attaining your dreams is, do I own my dreams? Because this is a very essential question that needs to be answered if you are to move in the direction of your dreams. You want to know, well, how did I get to where I'm going? It's a question that gives us directions. It really gives us direction. Without answering that question, It would be like walking in the dark without a flashlight and ending up somewhere, somewhere, not even knowing how you got there, or worse, not even liking where you ended up, right? So without asking that question, we're walking in the dark, so to speak. We're walking in the dark. We don't have a guide. We don't have any direction. So ask yourself, do I own my dream? Because that dream, that question, do I own my dream, is key to help you move forward towards your dream. Because the dream is only possible when you own it. So ask yourself, do I own my dream? Do I own my dream? You must ask yourself, is the dream I am dreaming someone else's? Is it really my dream? Because many times we find ourselves pursuing a dream because it was imposed upon us by someone else. Someone who we would like to please, perhaps. Maybe it was a parent, maybe started early. Your parents had certain aspirations for you, which are good, but they might not be your aspirations. But we accept them because we want to please our parents. Or it might be someone else that's influenced you, and you might want to please that person. We pursue dreams that are not satisfying when we don't own our dreams, because we're afraid sometimes of rejection by the person who suggested that that's the way we should go, or we are afraid of criticism, you know. So it's a question that we have to ask and answer to ourselves, because we can't authentically live a dream that is not really ours. It really has to be ours. You have to own your dream. We must own it. If we don't, we will not feel fulfilled. Think of something that you might be pursuing now, maybe a career that you're pursuing, something that you've begun to build, whatever that something is, and you're not feeling fulfilled, you're not feeling excited, you're not feeling passionate about it. Question yourself, do you own that dream? Or are you living someone else's dream? And let me share with you some differences between when someone else owns your dream and when you own your dream, because there's a big difference. And you will recognize it as you hear these. But when it's their dream, it will not have the right fit for you. You know, when you go into a store, you buy a pair of shoes, or you buy a dress, or whatever, a piece of clothing, you want to try it on first to see how it fits. And you might try on a few different sizes before you get the right fit. So when it is your dream, it will feel right for you. It will be the right fit. But when it's someone else's dream, it will be a weight on your shoulders. It really would be a weight on your shoulders. But when it is your dreams, it will provide wings for you to soar. You'll continue coming up with ideas. You look forward to working on that dream on a regular basis. It really is energizing. But when it's not your dream, when it's someone else's dream, it will drain your energy. It will drain your energy. You're not looking forward to pursuing that, but you are. It feels like work. But when it is your dream, it gives you energy. You're excited every day. You're just excited about what you're going to create next, what next step you will take, where will it take you. It's exciting. You look forward to it. But when it's not your dream, when it's someone else's dream, it will put you to sleep because you're bored with it. You know, it's not really yours. You're doing it because someone else is driving it. But when it's your dream, it will keep you up at night because you'd be so excited thinking about what else can I do and how wonderfully this is going. Not that you won't have some challenges, but that will not deter you. It will keep you up at night. Sometimes you want to keep a pad and a pencil or next to your bed so that when ideas occur to you, you can write them down because they keep you up at night and you don't want to miss anything. But when it's not your dream, when it's really not your dream, you're going to find that it's going to take you out of your strength zone. You're not going to be working in your strength zone. It's going to feel like work. It's going to feel like work. You're not going to enjoy it. But when it is your dream, it will take you out of your comfort zone and you won't mind doing it because you're doing something that you believe in. You're doing something that you're looking forward to. So you don't mind stretching yourself because your dream is going to stretch you. You have to become someone else. You have to do something other than what you normally do. You have to think differently. You have to stretch yourself in so many different ways. But you won't mind because it's worth the investment. But again, when you're living someone else's dream, it will be fulfilling to them. It will be fulfilling to others, but it will not be fulfilling to you. When you're living your dream, it will be fulfilling to you. You will have that excitement. You feel it's purposeful. You think about all the ways it's going to serve you and serve other people. It will be fulfilling to you. It will be a joy to work with, despite the challenges, because it's not pain-free, it's not challenge-free, but it's worth the investment. And when you're fulfilling someone else's dream, when you're living someone else's dream, it will require others to push you to fulfill that dream, to pursue that dream. But on the opposite side, when it's your dream, when you're living your dream, you will feel like you're made for it. You're going to find that you have abilities, skills, the strength, the perseverance to go forward. It's going to propel you forward. No one is going to have to push you to do that because you're pushing yourself. You're passionate about it, so you're pushing yourself. So think about those two aspects and determine that dream that you're pursuing or that you've been thinking about pursuing. Is that really your dream? Or is that someone else's dream? Now, T.S. Eliot said, whatever you think, and this really bears listening to and really taking into our spirits, whatever you think, be sure it is what you think. Whatever you want, be sure that it is what you want. And whatever you feel, be sure that it is what you feel. Because so often we think we're thinking our thoughts, we think we're doing what we want, and we think we're feeling what we feel, that our feelings are genuinely ours, but we are adopting someone else's thoughts, someone else's actions, and someone else's feelings. So own your feelings, own your thoughts, and own your actions. Live in the process of dreaming and of building your dreams. It should be an exciting experience, not a burden, not feeling like drudgery. So own your dreams. There's a level of energy, a feeling of excitement, a level of passion that you feel when you own your dreams and are pursuing it because you know it's yours and nobody else's. I can think of dreams that I had, dreams that were fulfilled, and how excited I was as I was pursuing them. And then voila, the big reveal when the dream was achieved. I'm sure you've had some of those experiences, and if you've fallen short of having those, begin to think about whether that dream is or really was yours. There's no there's no way that you can't pursue that. It's never too late. It's never too late to make a U-turn. That passion that you have in pursuing your dream when you own it will ultimately be the driving force behind pursuing and achieving that dream. So you have to take responsibility for your dream. That's one thing that you can't assign to someone else. You must take care of it just like you would an an emerging baby, a fetus, right? Those of us who are mothers, right? And even fathers also, you share the experience of seeing your child as it developed in the womb, and even then you began to care for it. You took care of the carrier. The carrier took care of herself because you know that this was precious cargo that you were carrying. And that's your dream. It's precious cargo. And until it's achieved, it's it needs a lot of nurturing. You know, you develop a connection with that fetus even before it becomes a newborn. And then when you've given birth to it, when it's given birth, you know, it's even given more care. More care. The care continues. So no one else can care for your dream but you. I remember in high school or even in middle school, in health class, the kids used to be, or the students used to be given an egg, right? And they had to carry that egg, nurture that egg to see how it feels, to have something to nurture, to take care of, to give them a purpose also. And they had to talk about how they nurtured it, what they did, how they thought, the thoughts that they had that might not be helpful in nurturing that unborn egg, right? So it's the same thing with your dream. Nurture it because it's precious cargo. It's very fragile. Dreams can be very fragile while they're in their developmental stages. So it is an enjoyable period. It's an exciting period waiting for the birth of that dream. But you only feel that when you own that dream. You're not going to feel that excited about somebody else's dream, carrying someone else's dream. It's going to be like a burden to you. You're going to feel all the aches and pains. All right. So that's not the experience that you want to have. So I want to end this. I want to end this by asking you to think about the dream that you are pursuing or the dream that you would like to pursue, and to ask yourself the ownership question. Am I dreaming my dream? Is my dream really, really my dream? Or is it someone else's dream that I have adopted? Someone else's dream that's been imposed upon me? If you can answer that question unequivocally with a big resounding yes, then go right ahead, knock yourself out, follow your dreams, get excited, and do all those things that would help you to achieve your dream. But if it is no, or if you cannot answer the question, or if you're faced with doubt or confusion, then spend some time thinking about how and when did this thought, the thought occur to you? Why do you believe that you're pursuing that dream? How did you get, connected with that dream in the first place? How will it feel when you achieve it? Because if you can project, how are you going to feel when you achieve that dream and you don't really feel happy about it? You don't feel that you've gotten to the end of the road. Then you want to rethink that. Is it energizing you, or is it depleting you while you're pursuing it? And again, spoiler alert again, you don't have to wait until you pursue that dream or achieve that dream. You can stop right now. That's the good news. You can interrupt what you're doing if it doesn't feel good, if you've come to the conclusion that this is really not my dream. It's not too late to relinquish it and start over with plans that you can really own to pursue your dream, so that you can feel passionate about what you're doing, and you can answer a resounding yes to the ownership question. Is this really my dream? So next week, we'll continue with another message on developing a pathway to attaining your dreams. This is exciting stuff. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about dreaming and knowing that I have the resources to make my dream come true. So next week, we're going to continue discussing this and developing a pathway to attaining your dreams. And as I always say, if you find this of value, if you find this of value, this message to be of value to you, then share it with someone. Share it with a friend, a relative, a neighbor, a coworker, whomever. When we find something of value, we want to share it. Remember that this, as well as other messages, are stored on my YouTube channel, Thinking Tuesday, Cheryl Burton. And if you're feeling challenged, about how to pursue or even begin to visualize your dream, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach me through my website, drcherylburton.com, and I will be happy to help you think through your dreams or look at what's keeping you stuck, help you to get unstuck. I'll be happy to offer you a complimentary, confidential consultation to help you move forward, because this is what Thinking Tuesday is all about, helping you to access those resources within you to help you actualize the kind of life, live the kind of life that you want to live. So I look forward to meeting here with you next week, or meeting you next week at Tuesday at 12 o'clock on Tuesday. And while you're visiting my website also, please feel free to check in on those services and products that I offer. And if you don't see something there that you need, don't let that stop you from reaching out. My contact information is right there on the website. And I'll help you try to design what it is that you're trying to design, because all of my programs and services are really customized to the needs of my clients. So I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at noon as we continue to develop a pathway for attaining your dreams. So take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next Tuesday, bye for now. Take care. Bye.